Good morning and welcome back to Nat's Knacker's Yard. What's going on today? My diversion, naked conversion. I'm starting to get rid of the bits. I'm not charging anything for them. I'm just postage more than anything else. But there's a guy on the one of the sites that's after the cowling surround, so I'll get rid of that. Just take the photo of the bars, bang them up the back, the engine bars. I'll get rid of those as well. A little bit of tinkering last night on the rear brake caliper. I did end up splitting it, so undoing the big bolts on the side, splitting it with the help of a trusty bit of wood and wedging it in to open it up, because it was the only way I could get that last pin out. The bit that it did highlight is, I'm not sure how much you can pick up there. Ooh, come on, focus, it's not that early. Is that the piston seals have actually gone. You can see how rusted in that pin was. There you go, you can see the plastic protruding on the edge there, so the seals have gone. So I ordered a new kit, 18 quid I think for the pins, piston rings, the O-ring, etc. So I'm going to fit, oh, and the new bleed nipples as well. So what I'm going to do, probably a during the week job, put this aside for now, while it's apart and while I've got new bits coming, I might as well just refurbish it, so all the way to and including probably painting it as well. Why the hell not, it's off. I'm not, can't do anything with it at the moment, so yeah, so I'm going to put that to the side for the day. What I want to do is reject the carb today. I might get round to doing something more with the exhaust. I don't really want to go into too much detail yet, because I'm not, no, sorry, I will. Right, so let's do a little bit of art. So inside, if that's the exhaust, how does it go like that? And then that attaches an engine that way, and it's slashed off that way. So inside there is a baffle that looks like that, and it's only a short one. Now what I have done is I have put some wadding in there, and it's made a little bit of difference, but not a great deal. But that is a solid tube, so basically all of the heat and noise is going straight through, and it is a straight through exhaust. Now what one of the subscribers, Tim, has said about a, what do they call it, a decibel killer, which I've looked at and thought, yeah, I could do that. I could do it myself, I think. Effectively, it's a replacement for the baffle with holes in the actual baffle bit and a changeable block, if you like. It looks like a flat coin with a screw on it that you screw on the side, and it's quieter at that end, noisier at that end. Now that seems to make a lot of sense to me, because at the moment this wadding is only really blocking any airflow coming out of the edges there. It's not doing anything to the main flow, which is through the block. So if I block it, it's forcing the air into the edges there and through the holes. So you put it right at the end, it's doing it. Quite a big block, you can do it at the end. It's quite a minor block. So yeah, depending on how this carb in, carb out reject goes, I think I'm going to give that a go, because I do like the noise. It's just a bit loud, and it's probably fine, but it's making me concerned about MOT stuff. I don't want to go through a load of effort to do that. God, my handwriting's atrocious on a board. I should never be a teacher. Right, I'm going to get a cup of tea and grab a helper. Should be some excellent cam work today, because I am recruiting a camera boy. It's not child labour if they're yours. So yeah, grab a cup of tea and grab one of the kids. Right, so we on? Cool. Camera dude kicking in. So I have tried to just undo half of this rather than completely dismounting it. I've had a word with myself and I'll do it properly. I might try leaving the cables on, because they're a pain in the butt. But I'm at least taking the these are the choke cables, Midland, yeah? So when it needs a little bit more air to start, or a little bit more air, it's a bit more complicated than that, but yeah. So I'm just, there's one on each carb, mate. Unlike the last one where it just had one when it was on, when we were doing a what do I call it, bud?
I can't remember.
Straight.
Straight.
Yeah.
A 2 straight.
Straight 2 and a straight 4, yeah. Right, this is dripping fuel everywhere, but hey, whatever. Right, so I am free, with the exception of, try not to tear the idle cable, which is currently stuck. There we go. How the hell I've got that through that little gap before. Right, I have to come swaps. And that's how I've pulled it a stupid direction and then I've wedged it. Oh well, let's just see how much turn that gives me. That should be enough. Right, so we're going to go for a rejet. It's going to drip fuel everywhere. No, do you know what? I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to take the cables off. Right, so we have our 140 jets that you're going to struggle to focus on. There you go, 140s. They were the ones from the bobber to start with, Midland, so that one. So in here, this is set on the factory ones, mate. And from the factory, it comes with the different setting ones, so they are lower. So I'm going to do it one at a time. Just take these things that are called float bowls off. What have I reminded you to do before I put it back on?
It's fuel drains.
Yes, because I am daft and I keep forgetting to put them back on again.
Yeah.
And then I put it back on and fuel goes everywhere. And then I have to take them back off again and do it again. And it's really, really annoying. Right, I'm looking for something to put my screws in as I go, otherwise I'll lose them. Okay, right. So, let's get one float bowl off. We'll only film one of these because it's a V-twin, clue is in twin. They are both the same. So we'll do one. And then the other. And rather than worry about mixing up what bit came from where, we'll do one, then seal it, and then do the other. I might give that a little bit more of a clean as well while it's off. It's had one clean, but it might need another one. Right, so what we're changing, Midland, is there are 2 jets in a carburetor. Yeah, that one, are you filming me? That one is the pilot jet, so that's it's starting basically, and this one is the main jet. Yeah, and we are changing the bit that I'm unscrewing. That's all we're doing. That is
the main jet.
That is the main jet, and it is currently, there's no way you'll zoom in on that. It's 137.5, which is the factory setting one. So I'm going to put that up here on my gun, and I am going to grab my, not those screws, there you go, I'm going to grab one of my 140s, make sure it's clean. Yep, I can see daylight through that. In fact, if I put this up next to one ear of yours, Midland, and shine a light through it, it will come through the other one.
Really?
Because there's nothing to stop it. There's no brains. Right, so it just needs to be, it doesn't need to be monkey strength. It just needs to be tight enough Now what I'm going to do, don't tell Mummy that I've got these because she's been looking for these and I've nicked them.
I won't.
Right, okay. She's constantly amazed at how she goes through so many cotton buds quite so quickly, and it's because I nick them. Right, so I'm just spraying, that is carb cleaner, and look, it's dripping out the bottom because the
Manger?
no, the drains are still open, aren't they? It's alright, you haven't forgotten. I haven't asked you to remind me yet, but that's what those drain bolts do. They stop or let stuff drain out. It's still not great, but they're good enough. Right, so back on. It is literally that simple to rejet a bike, and the reason we're rejetting Midland is because it comes with a 137.5s with a, so the bigger number means a bigger hole, yeah.
Yep.
So it comes with those 137.5s, but when you make changes to your bike, it makes changes to the amount of fuel and air that it needs to run properly. Now somebody on this bike before I had it put a high flow air filter in it so it gets more air than it was designed to originally have, and also put that really stupidly loud little exhaust on it. So
I could hear it from my bedroom.
Exactly, that probably means that we then need to upjet it, so that's precisely what we're doing now. There we go, that's one done, just nipping that up. And what am I going to do now that you're going to remind me to do?
Close the fuel jet.
Close the drains. Awesome. Right, I'm going to do that and then we're going to do the other one, but we're not going to bother filming that, alright?
Yep.
Excellent. Cheers, bud. Right, so that's the carb back in. My little helper's disappeared for a while because poor little bugger's freezing. 0% body fat on him, or there or thereabouts. Just like I had at his age before I discovered beer. Right, so just putting it all back together. I've had a sticky throttle, and I've tried lubricating through. I've taken off the throttle. I didn't film it. I've taken off the throttle, taken the whole element off. I've greased it. I did notice there were some some scrapes out of the bar itself underneath. So I filed those down. I've sanded them down. I've cleaned it up as much as I can. I might have some photos actually. I'll see if I can drop them in. However, as pissing around with the boy going through this, and I was using the doing the throttle by hand, and it was clicking at the back. It was making some noise. So we cleaned it out. It was right on the springs on this side, on the rear carb. So giving it a good clear out, and now I have a throttle that don't stick anymore. And I was concerned that it was up here. I think it was a contribution of all the above. So I think it was the carb itself. This has been sat out for a while, so I think there was no grease left in it, so I think that was a bit messed up on that end. So what, I'm happy with that. I was not quite sure what I was going to do, but still not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it's a damn sight better than it was. I'm just going to chuck some more WD in it before I start pulling it all back together. Cool. So we've got carburetor back on, tank back on, all wired up. We've got power's on at the moment. I've thrown the seat back on. I've got my helper back with his fluffy gloves because he's cold, bless him. Right, so this time pushing the right button, i.e. the magic noise button, not the lights. Right, bearing in mind the carbs are empty, so it's going to take a couple of attempts. It's in neutral, so it's not going anywhere. That's it. That's it, mate. Keep going. And give it a little bit of choke. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Let it sort itself out a little bit. Oh. Oh, a little bit of choke because it's cold. broke it.
What did I do?
This side then, bud. So put the mirror back on. That's a bit of cosmetics more than anything else. I've had to reroute the, come around here, Midland. That's the idle adjuster, which is supposed to be attached to something, but I'll work it out at some stage. I hadn't routed it properly, so I couldn't adjust it, so I had to take the airbox off, reroute it. But now we have it with zero choke. The idle. Cool. Wasn't doing that this morning. I got you stand right in front of the exhaust before I ripped it. Cool, right, brilliant, job done. Carb sorted and rejetted, which well happy about. I'm going to let that cool, and then I might have a play with that exhaust and see if I can baffle it a little bit more. Cool, thanks very much. So back to my rubbish picture. That's the baffle. So I reckon holes in, semi-block off, quieter. We shall see. Right, well, it was a nice idea. I managed to get 2.5 holes out of it before it blunted my drill bit, and I can't get anything else through it. Right, now the problem I got is it's 7.2 centimetres, 7.2, 7.1, and I can't find a baffle online, a DB killer online. So we'll see what I might try and wedge it a little bit so it's not quite such a through and through. Nah, sod it. I'm just going to chuck the packing back on and see how it goes. It's got a couple of extra rolls in it. Might help. Alright, so there we go. Pistons out. Pistons themselves, it's been too bad a shape. Yeah, the rings are shot. Look at that. Need a good clean out. So, bit of a bit of a refurb required. Most of that crap on there is just road salt, so give that a bit of a dig out. I put them back on the bike to pump them out. Managed to get the one side out, which was the better one to get out because it left me with the intake one. So a bit of mild encouragement with a bolt through just to pop it out the other side. Right, so I've got those on order, and it's going to be a bit of an evening job this week to tidy up the pistons and tidy up the calipers while I wait for them to arrive. So yeah, happy with that. Cool. Right, so I think I'm going to call it a day there. Many thanks to my little helper for helping me out. Good luck charm that he is. The end result is no choke, completely cold pipe, with a baffle messing around with a little bit, speedo doing its funky bit, magic noise button. I don't know if I mentioned this actually, by a little bit more lube on the inside, I now have, it's not catching at all, so I'm well happy. Might need to stick another washer on there. I think it might just be catching a little bit on that, but yeah, throttle's not sticking anymore either. Brill. Starting to freaking love this bike. Got to sort out that rear piston, and then I'm desperate just to take it up and down the hill again, see if it, see what difference the jetting's made to it. But it just sounds more comfortable now. It's not labouring. Yeah. Well, happy. So that'll do me for the day. The fact of having one of the kids in here calms down me swearing a little bit as well, which is probably appreciated. Brill, it's getting there. So next jobs, I'm going to sort out that brake caliper when it arrives. I do need to sort out the calibration of that speedo, but that's when the mood takes me. I've got some indicators on order. I've got some LED ones on order because I haven't got any LED ones. I've got bulb ones I've been chasing. I know it's had LEDs in it before, so yeah, I'm going to put those on. See if that messing around with the LEDs might sort that right indicator issue. Don't know if it will. Weirdly enough, I've heard nothing back from the manufacturers because they're in China. Yeah. So indicators at the back. Indicators at the back might be an issue because I haven't been able to find any wiring for it yet. I can find the LED wires for here, but little more. The brake cable, the brake wiring is shorn there. I need to, it's basically sort this wiring out a little bit more. I had to dig through, work out what it means. On the electrical side, I've got front brake pads down there as well. I'll swap them out or something. That might be a midweeker issue. Oh, let's try pointing you where I'm looking. That might be a midweeker as well, but I'm well happy that there's a bike that that starts on the button without any choke when it's cold. Can't ask for more. Right, I'm going to start putting stuff away, and we need to go and chase the dog around the woods. Cheers all, have a great time. Remember, subscribe if you're enjoying the journey, share if you're enjoying it. Failing that, I'm entirely happy with you just enjoying the journey. Cheers all, bye.